I watched The Last Dance, which is a documentary, so I don't know if that counts as a TV show.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah. Yep. But the thing about that was disappointing was that Michael Jordan did it to kind of solidify his status as the greatest of all time. But what it actually solidified was his status as the most insecure of all time.
Did it really? Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Because he was like, I mean, he wanted to do the thing. And, whatever, okay. There's a story to be told.
He wanted to do the thing. Did someone approach him, or did he direct it? Or
I think that he was in the driver's seat. Like, it was his project.
Yeah.
I don't know if he proposed it or if somebody proposed it to him, but it was clear that he was putting his weight behind it. And then you had all the other like players from the teams, coaches, like staff and things like that, but also sports reporters, people who are in the business, who provided commentary. And it was kind of clear that his persona was just like looming over the whole project. People weren't going to criticize him because he's alive, like he's in the next room. And he's reacting to anything that anyone is going to say that's even slightly negative, and he's going to try to rebuff it. But what Michael Jordan effectively admits to throughout the course of that whole television show or that documentary is that anytime anyone even slightly disrespected him, he used it as fuel to subsequently dominate, which is fine, use what you need to use. But he just comes off looking really insecure. Like if anyone doesn't say like, you are the great one, you are the best basketball player, I pay due homage and obeisance, then he's like, I'm going to show this guy. It's like, show him what? Like, what are we showing? Like,
do you think other people got that same reaction? Or is it because you're looking at it through a sort of Christian lens that... which I'm not criticizing. I think it's probably the correct lens. What do I know? But I'm just wondering, like, is this a general thought?
I've had conversations with people who have seen similar things. I think the reason for which it's so tragic is that he's talking about his life, his accomplishments, and he's sitting in a big empty house because his wife left him, and his kids don't really want to have much to do with him because he's a raging egomaniac. Is that part of the show? No, but it's just like here's a man who is smoking cigars inside because it's public fact, like that his wife left him shortly after the end of his NBA career. Yeah, so he's got a big ego, which I think a lot of very successful professional athletes do have a big ego.
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't like pay too terribly much to be humble in the business.
Yeah, it doesn't pay to be humble, and it also probably doesn't help you if you lack that aggressive streak.
Yeah.
But interesting. Yeah, that is sad. I do remember seeing a little bit of that and seeing the large empty house.
Yeah. He's just smoking cigars inside because who's he going to bother with the smoke?
I do that.
Nah. Homage. Yeah.
Golly, it's got to be so tough because, if I was in his gigantic shoes, I'm sure I'd be in a much worse place. Maybe I wouldn't, but I don't know. But yeah, like how the hell do you expect anybody to come out of the end of that being in any way normal?
Yeah.
That much fame, that much praise.
Yeah. Not clear.
I think I'm so glad I'm married because you just cannot get away with stuff. You can't get away with... I often wonder what that's like being a diocesan priest, because you probably can get away with a lot more things. But as a married man, you have immediate feedback from your kids and your children.
Yeah.
Now, I can be arrogant and blame their negative reactions of me on them, and I do that, I'm sure. I don't want to, but I'm sure I do that and have done that. But it's like if you want any semblance of happy family life, you have to be a mediocre dad, at least, for that to work.
I think, I don't know what diocesan priests think or experience too terribly much, but I was just in my family's parish for the past week and a half, and I took the 9 o'clock mass most days because a couple of the priests, like one just had surgery, one was on vacation, blah, blah, blah. But what I noticed is that folks are awesome. It's a great parish, super engaged, a lot of really wonderful people, but people will often they'll give a compliment and then they'll tell you the thing that they also want you to do in the next one. So like, that was great, Father, had a little bit of difficulty hearing, but that was great. So it's like
sandwich
basically what it is like, speak up, Father, or like, that was great. Have you heard of, like Luisa Picareta? Because you might want to look into, but that was great. It's like, okay, so this needs to be a theme that I look into for subsequent rounds of preaching and stuff like that. So my impression is that diocesan priests, unless they, choose to isolate themselves or insulate themselves from that type of feedback, are going to get it because people want to tell you what they think, and they're going to find ways to tell you what they think. At least that's my experience.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.